What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for La Liga Week 37 predictions. The winners have been decided. Barcelona, with their win in the derby against Espanyol, 2-0, sees them win their 28th La Liga title, I believe, with Real Madrid having to settle for second. And then, I guess you could say a slight race for Champions League football, but Villareal are 5 points ahead currently of Real Betis, who we'll talk about in just a moment. Real quick, flashing up on the screen are all of the people that are supporting me over on the Patreon. If you want to get access to exclusive members, tips and accumulators, as well as the group chat, you can message me directly if you've made a bet or an acca and you want my opinion on it, maybe something I might change or tweak or look at, then feel free to click that link down below and join us over on the Patreon. But the main thing that we're looking at for La Liga is the relegation race. Now, Alaves got a very, very important victory against Valencia. I think Valencia are a better team, and had Valencia won that, Alaves would have been on 35 points, and it would be a lot more intriguing at the bottom of the table. I actually don't think Alaves need to worry about relegation as much as Getafe. 5 straight losses, and Leganes, if they win their last 2 games, they could see Getafe be drawn into the relegation places. And I know what you're thinking. Leganes have won 7 games all year. What makes you think they can win the last 2? And that simply is their fixtures. Leganes play none other than Las Palmas and Valladolid. How crazy is that? So Leganes, there's a chance they make it out, albeit very slim, but a chance if all things go well. But the first game, it's Atletico Madrid up against Real Betis. Now, if Real Betis don't win this game, they cannot get Champions League football next season. But they drop points at Real Vallecano, they drop points against Osasuna, and that might be sort of the dagger that means they don't get Champions League, with Villareal winning their 4 games in a row, beating the aforementioned Leganes as well. So for this one, Real Betis have to win, but it's difficult to go against Atletico Madrid at home. Do I say Betis do it? I just think, I mean, Atletico Madrid lost to Osasuna 2-0, which was pretty incredible. But do they lose? I got to go with my original prediction here and say 2-2, which does mean that Villarreal secure that 5th spot in the Champions League. And to be fair, they are far and above the best 5 teams in Spain. Like, they really are. I know Betis are sort of decent, and the likes of Girona had a good year last year. Sevilla have always been okay. Valencia the same. But as it stands, this top 5, there's a clear gulf in quality between these 5, arguably these 6, and the remainder of the league. So I'm going to say 2-2. The tip is both teams to score at 1.66. After this, it is Barcelona up against Villarreal. Obviously, I mean, these games all take place at the same time, so it's not like Villarreal could go into this game knowing that if Betis have drawn already, they've got Champions League. Villarreal are going to give Barcelona a good game. Barcelona don't have anything else to play for. They're not looking ahead to a Champions League final or anything like that. I think this is going to be an awesome game. I think you could look at over 5.5 goals, honestly. I'm going to go 4-3 to Barcelona. The tip is Barcelona and both teams to score at 2.87. I'm just going to look at the odds for goals, though. I'm changing my tip. Barcelona and both teams to score is 2.87, but over 4.5 goals is 3.2, so better odds, and it allows for that 3-3 if they don't get that 4th. I could see it being absolutely massive. I think there's going to be tons of goals. Villarreal might go and win. You never know. Over 4.5 goals, 3.2. The odds are massive, but I think there's going to be tons of goals in this game. After this, it's Celta Vigo up against Vallecano. Now, well, by the looks of things, La Liga have, it says here, Conference League spot for 8th place. So Celta Vigo are probably going to get Europe. If Vallecano win this one, maybe they go into the Europa League. But realistically, I don't know if Vallecano... Well, obviously they want to go in Europa League, but with regards to winning, I don't think they win the Europa League. But they could have a good go in the Conference League. I'm going to say that Celta Vigo get the win and sort of keep that distance. I mean, that does mean... Obviously, Osasuna, Mallorca, even Valencia could leapfrog them. This is very important for Vallecano, but I'm just going to go for Celta Vigo. The tip is both teams score at 1.7. Absolutely, this could be a score draw, but yeah, I think Vallecano slip up in this one. After this, it is Las Palmas up against Leganes. It's absolutely massive. If Las Palmas win this, I mean, is there a chance they stay up? It's very unlikely. They've lost 4 in a row, and Alaves have to play Valladolid, who are absolutely awful. So it's all for Leganes, and maybe I'm biased in going for this for the storyline just to keep it alive, because if Leganes and Las Palmas draw here, then it's all over. Do you know what I mean? So it can't be a draw, really. So I'm going to go to a 1-0. I mean, it definitely can be, by the way, literally speaking. But for the league's sake, I hope it's not. So I'm going to say 1-0 to Leganes. And the tip is going to be Leganes draw no bet at 1.66. They are favourites to win this. Let's hope if they get the win, 37 points, maybe Valladolid do them a favour and beat Alaves. But I could see Getafe losing the last 2 games. So if Leganes can beat Las Palmas here, if Getafe do lose their last 2 games, Leganes just need to beat Valladolid to stay up. It could happen. The dream is on. They picked up 6 points in their last 4. It's not terrible for a team all the way down there. They just need to pick up 6 more. After this, it is Mallorca against Getafe. Getafe losing 6 in a row. Mallorca, they're still pushing for Conference League. They could get Conference League with a win here as well. If Osasuna Vallecano lose, they've got it to play for. So I'm going for Mallorca to win 1-0. Again, to keep the narrative alive. Getafe's last game, I believe, is against Osasuna, who might, by that point, be fighting for a European spot. So 2 teams in mid-table that are fighting for something against Getafe, who are, of course, fighting relegation, but they can't buy a win. They can't buy a point. Leganes will be breathing down their necks with the final game against Valladolid. It's super exciting. The odds for Getafe to get relegated, by the way, are 50-1. So it might be worth a quid. I don't know. It just... Yeah, I think Mallorca are going to win this, but just in case Getafe get the draw they need, obviously, if Getafe do get a point, they're basically safe. I'm going to tip under 2.5 goals at 1.5. They would love a 0-0 right here. I mean, you look at this, 2-0, 3-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. It's all low scoring. It's bad, right? Mallorca to win 1-0. After this, Osasuna against Espanyol. Espanyol, they're in and around the zone. They're not safe either. And I think they could lose another one here. Osasuna pushing for that European spot. I'm going for another 1-0. These are almost like identical fixtures. Similar in odds, similar in jeopardy. Both teams here on 39 points not safe. Both teams here 47, 48 points going for Europe. 1-0. I think it's the same sort of narrative. Same tip. Under 2.5 goals at 1.72. After this, Real Sociedad against Girona. Girona 2 wins in the last 3. Sociedad winless in the last 6. This is just a gut feeling, a vibe. I'm saying Sociedad bounce back and win 2-1. And I'm going to tip it. Real Sociedad to win at 2.05. A bit of a gut feeling there, to be honest. You could look at both teams to score. This does scream both teams to score an under 3.5, but I've got that later on in the video. Don't you worry. Next up, it's Sevilla up against Real Madrid. Sevilla, a much-needed win here against Las Palmas. And Real Madrid, obviously, they can't win the league, but again, they've got nothing else to play for. I think they win this one. I'm going to say a 2-1 win. That's 14. Let's go for 2-1. I thought about Real Madrid and both teams to score, but in case it's a win to 0, I like the odds of Real Madrid to win at 1.72. I think they're good enough. They'll have to settle for second, but I do think they beat Sevilla in this one. After this, Valencia up against Athletic Bilbao. Bilbao, they've got Champions League football in the bag. Betis cannot catch them. So, yes, of course, ideally they'd like to finish 3rd, but I think they're going to settle for a draw here. 1-1. The tip is going to be both teams to score and under 3.5 goals at 3.1. That allows for a 2-1 either way, as well as the 1-1 draw you see here. Now, here it is. Valladolid up against Alaves, the whipping boys of La Liga, losing again to Girona. I'm going to go for another 1-0 loss, 1-0 to Alaves, and the tip is Alaves to win at 1.57. And of course, if they do win this game, that secures their safety, and there's no better team to do it against than Valladolid. So, with that being said, that puts Leganes on 37 points. Did I have Espanyol to lose? Let's have a little look up here. I did. Okay, so it leaves Espanyol and Getafe on 39 points, Alaves on 41, Leganes on 37. So if Leganes win their final game against Valladolid and end up on 40 points, we got to look at the goal difference here. It was Alaves that play off Osasuna, not Getafe. But Getafe plays Celta Vigo. So basically, the goal difference suggests even if Leganes win their last 2 games, which I think they could, Getafe and Espanyol only need a point. But will they get a point? I think Espanyol will, because by the time they play Las Palmas on the final day, they would be relegated if they did lose to Leganes here. But Getafe against Celta Vigo and Mallorca, that's not going to be easy. we could see Leganes go up to 40 points and Getafe remain on 39. So here's a summary for my picks. I hope Leganes win for the culture. I hope Getafe and Espanyol lose so that it goes down to the final day. And then who knows, Las Palmas, relegated, could drag Espanyol down with them by beating them on the final day. It's very exciting, and I hope Leganes play into it and get the win that they need this week against Las Palmas. Away from home, it's going to be difficult, but I hope it does happen. Let me know your thoughts and predictions down in the comments below. That is going to do it from me, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.